the biggest game of the weekend on the Dido Life SV.League. One of the biggest games of this league season. In the red, the away side, but still here at home in Osaka. Suntory Sunbirds Osaka, the reigning champions, with the mighty Dmitry Mazerski unloading on a huge ball against the team in black, who have their own superstars to call on. Osaka Bluteon still flying high at the top of the division. 35 wins, just 5 losses for their .88 ratio. And if they win one match in this series against Suntory, that will be enough to send them into the championship playoffs that start 3rd week in April as the #1 seeds. Larry Evbaridan then with the serve. One of the 2 middle blockers out on court for this Osaka team, the other being Nishikawa Keitaro. And then they start with the man who's replaced Tomaszewski, the American, at the moment while he's injured, Masato Kai, who's doing a good job. Shoma Tomita waits in the wing, should he be required, but Miguel Angel Lopez of Cuba could be the key to the points today, depending on how well that man goes. Oh, Yuji Nishida's first swing of the match, the big left-hander who burst onto the scene and was such a huge star in volleyball before deciding to take a step back from the national squad a little while ago, but certainly looks like he's coming back into some decent form, and he thinks it's in. His coach, Ito Takeshi, stand-in for former head coach Lauren Tilly, who will be looking after the Japan players into this next Olympiad, has decided to go with his star player and call for the video challenge. I have to say, on that camera angle, which does slightly foreshorten the distance, it looks like they've got a good chance of winning this point. Look at this support here in the Ukini Arena. 7,000 seats, absolutely packed to the rafters, with both Osaka Bluteon and Suntory Sunbirds fans. Spoilt for choice where volleyball teams are concerned in this city. Real volleyball royalty here in Japan. In or out then? Oh! Well, that is unlucky. Told you that camera foreshortens the distance, and by millimetres, it is just over the baseline. And Nishida's first swing of the game is out. Keep an eye on his form, because that will be vital in today's and in this weekend's contests. Same goes for Dmitry Mazerski, the 7'2", 2m18 Russian. Needs to bring the block against Lopez, which he does, but it's just out. Lopez 2 points straight off the bat. I don't think we can overestimate the value that the late signing of Miguel Angel Lopez is going to bring to Osaka Bluteon at the back end of this season. Now, I think this is the man under pressure today. Vero Motoki, 28-year-old former Wolf Dogs Nagoya setter who signed for Bluteon in the off-season. Wow. The pipe has been a good friend to this Suntory team over the last few weeks, and Masaki Oya delivers that one on an absolute plate for the form man in this team. Ran Takahashi putting in a phenomenal effort for Suntory. One of the 2 middles then, Kenji Sato. Starts with Tatsuki Kashiwada. I thought Renoniki, after playing well last weekend, would start, but no. And that's come back rather nicely for Mazerski, who pounds it straight into the block of Nishikawa Keitaro. Good reactions from the middleman. That is a terrific out-of-system point for Bluteon. Well, it's a fizzing match, it really is. A little off-pacer from Lopez, doesn't catch the defence out, but the connection to Kashiwada isn't good. Nishida can't put it away. And Suntory are still in the rally somehow. Good choice of set, it's the right choice, and Mazerski makes it so. I think the temptation there is always to spread the ball, try and drag those middles across, but no, on this occasion, exactly the right window to be locating that set in, and Mazerski's second point takes him to the service line. He and Alan Damas will be the serving weapon for Suntory this weekend. And a heavy serve starts with what a pass. Oh, beautiful attack, and unfortunately for Suntory, they just can't get high enough to stop Lopez right now. It's a brilliant pass from Yamamoto and a wonderful pipe attack from Lopez. 3 and counting. We'll keep an eye on those big names and their tallies for today, because I think this is going to be huge. Still can't get that middle connection. Oh yeah. But good defense. Oh yeah, goes on his own. Good reaction off the block, and then Muzierski catches the fingertips. And he and Lopez already engaged in a rather nice point-scoring head-to-head. There's Masato Kai in the number 15 top, the former Paris volley player. Another signing in the off-season for Osaka Bluteon, who stepped up last weekend against Wolf Dogs, had a couple of magnificent games. Just waiting to see if Thomas Yetke, the American, can get back in time for the championship. Out of system, no blame on Nishida there. That's a really tough ball to hit, but it does mean back-to-back errors. Yuji Nishida doesn't have a kill yet. It's a lovely reaction from this crowd. They are so up for this game. Damas then, another big server. Oh, huge. Kai passes well. Tight. Good reuse from Nishida on the counter block. Oh, it's all bouncing into everybody's window for a swing. But now Suntory have a control. And it's pipe away. Cuban defends Cuban. Nishida can't put it down. Well, it was always going that way. And Muzierski gets the kill. What a well-constructed point, and when you get rallies like that, I think it just shows you that these two sets of players, not only in good form coming to the championships at the end of this regular season, but they are absolutely buzzing for this match. Everybody completely switched on, and this is a good early lead for Suntory. Good pass, Larry doesn't get the return ball. Instead, that goes to one of the tallest left side spikers in the Japan international lineup. He's a very good player, Masato Kai, at 2 meters tall. He is going to be all over Oya in that rotation. They'll have to make the most of that. First point then on the board for Kai. No points yet for Nishida. Controlled serve. Off pace, Takahashi doesn't like that ball behind his shoulder. Oh, what a late arrival from Kashiwada, but it's another point for Kai. That is a terrific set from Motoki. When he plays well, he doesn't get the credit he deserves, but he also has his games where he's sometimes a little hit and miss, and Nishida opening the shoulders now. Should be another point here for Osaka Bluteon. It is. It's another point for Masato Kai as well. Good choices, picking on the tall Russian and managing to beat him with a tip. Not that Muzierski's defence has been lacklustre this season. He's had some great defensive games. And Nishida can't quite bring the heat for a third time, but it's a good comeback. Bluteon back in it now. The opening season game of this brand new SV League here in Japan was the big one in the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium. Osaka Bluteon beating the reigning champions Suntory twice in a row. Nice. But the second time of meeting, Bluteon were in a phase where injuries had caught up with them. Nishida wasn't in form. Tilly was missing for the first time, having taken the Japan national coaching job. So it was rather straightforward for Suntory for 3-0, 3-1. Eromotoki using his height for the block and using it very well. Kai misses. We're into some rhythm now, and I think we've got a great idea of how this game is going to play out. For me, Suntory just have the greater weight of scoring, and they have Mazurski out of system. So Osaka Bluteon I still feel will be on the back foot, but that doesn't mean they can't win it, not with the brilliance of Lopez and Nishida at their disposal. Oh yeah, misses the serve, calls out his next attack. It'll be off the back of a man who's forced his way back into consideration in the Japanese lineup. Daria Baridan, cracking serve. Cracking defence from Kai, doesn't take the pipe. Lopez gets the return ball and shoves it straight down the front of Takahashi's block. Fabulous stuff again from Bluteon. And out of system, that's a valuable point from Lopez. That's his 4th point of the match already, but brilliant defence from Masato Kai. And having been 3 down, they find themselves 1 up until the unerring relationship between left-hander middle Kenji Sato and Masaki Oya is brought to the fore for the first time in the game. First point then for Sato. Wasn't great last weekend against Vargas, got taken off, and Renoniki had a good game. Good shot, great defence. And again, this time from Bluteon, and Nishida rams it home. At last, Japan's left-hander superstar is on the score sheet. Not the only one. There's a gentleman at Stings that has come in and understudied very nicely for Nishida in the national setup. Miura could have a say as the championships play out. Sato tip, great defence, Yamamoto, and a good little slider play by Nishida, going off the side of the block, and Osaka Bluteon recover well here. And don't the fans love it when the big names play and play well? Lopez, Nishida, keeping Bluteon in the mix as we go to the technical timeout at 12 points. As the reserves, good news for Osaka Bluteon is that Thomas Yeshiki did warm up. Perhaps hobbling a little bit at the start, but got into some pretty decent warm-up stuff as that went on, and a few of those players may find themselves involved today. Most likely will be Akihiro Yamauchi, the captain, 2 meters and 4 middle blocker, might be required for blocking duties today. On the other side of the net, Alexander Swievka once again unlucky not to get a start, but what a man to have on the bench. He's got all the shots, he may come into the action, and then we expect in every game now to see Kotaro Kai and Ryu Takahashi coming on as serving substitutes. Not to forget 2 meters and 4 Renoniki's possible contribution as a point blocker. Eromotoki to serve then. Nishida into the front court. And it is Nishida that goes up against Damas. Well watched. Good disciplined libero work there from Soshi Fujinaka. And a man who's been relatively quiet in the game so far, Alan Damas, gets his 2nd point of the game after that blistering pipe attack earlier in the match. Sato, ace, right on the baseline from the left-handed middle. Tell you how important it is to have middles that can deliver something a little bit extra, whether that be defence or serving or both. It all helps. 2nd point then for Sato is a cracker. 12 all. Goes deep, Kai passes well. Ball out to Nishida is a little high. And where was Masaki Oya when his team needed him? Possibly expecting something a little more powerful from Nishida, but you would normally expect Oya to be all over that. 14-12 Bluteon. Now listen to the noise on the contact on the ball. It's massive. What a pass. And it's tipped off the block and out by Mazerski, using Kai's block well. The statisticians going to work up in the stands, feeding the data into the coaches down on the bench. Working away furiously. Lopez's serve is seen off. Now it's the double whammy of the Mazerski-Damas serves to come for Suntory. Mazerski first. Oh, this is great volleyball. This is great volleyball. Masato Kai, kill number 4. He's going well. A couple of beautiful passes and one magnificent defensive touch on Mazerski as well. So he's having a good game. Covering for Jeski, he's got big shoes to step into. Good hit. Another system. Damas hammers off the top of the block. Another blinding finish. And it brings him to the service line. And if you've just exercised your arm in front court to great effect, it's usually going to help you when you come to the service line. Don't want to jinx it. But just like Lopez, his Cuban teammate, this will sound very loud on the Mikasa. It's thunderous, and it is an amazing ace right into the corner. And Damas turning up the heat. Oh wow, that's unplayable. Literally unplayable. 15-14, what a bounce back, and what a beautiful game of volleyball this is. Started very well. Tremendous hit. Lopez passes his Cuban teammate, but a fabulous hit by Kai, who is emerging as a bit of a star in this new look Bluteon lineup. Good enough to beat the defence of Fujinaka on that occasion. 5 points for Kai, top scorer at the moment, as Nishida returns to the line. What a service run this is. Big hit, big serve, free ball. Yamamoto passes, and Kai sweeps it past Oya. How good does he look in the air right now, Masato Kai? Well, he top scored for MVP in Game 2 last weekend against Wolf Dogs, and you can see why. Making the very most of those rotations against Oya. First genuine timeout of the match then is called by Suntory coach Olivier Lecar. Always felt like we were going to get a good show from these two teams. And this next phase will give us, I think, quite a nice indication of how this match may play out. If Osaka Bluteon is still giving it absolutely everything, but Suntory Sunbirds stay close to them on the scoreboard, that still indicates this Suntory team are in the kind of form they need to be in right now to defend their title. And will probably still be marginal favourites this weekend, despite Bluteon topping the table. Wonderful pass. No, too low. And Masaki Oya is not able at the moment to create a real link between either Kashiwada or Sato in that middle position. Good read. Laria Baridan sticks it down on the floor for his first point. The 1m95 tall middleman. Nishida goes again. Served well. I know that one was in the net, but he served well at the start of this match to put his team in the frame. One break then for Osaka Bluteon at the moment. Now a little calmer run of servers on both sides of the net before Lopez opens it up again. Good blocking. Good recovery from Takahashi. And heavy pipe out of that back line from Alan Damas. He makes it to 5. He's had some season, and let's be honest, you've got to be some player to keep Alexander Swivka on the bench. And that's exactly what he's done for this Suntory team. 17 all. Nice. And a good choice from Motoki to go back to Larry. The difference in Larry's hitting from the start of the season to now is incredible. He is hitting it very hard and he's getting some sharp angles. Been really impressed with him this year. Masato Kai risks one. Just too much on that. 18s. Suntory and Lakar, the coach, will be happy enough with this. Mazurski's not really been influential at the moment, but now into the front line he could be. They avoid his block. Good coverage by Damas to pick that up. Mazurski out of the back line. He likes that pacier ball. That was edge of the envelope, but that tempo, if he comes and gets it, that tempo works. Blockers are stranded. Mazurski makes it to 5. Along with Kai and Damas. Still, they want to avoid Mazurski's block, but that's another great touch from Takahashi. Oh, he's gone to Takahashi there when Mazurski was available. Might still work out for Bluteon. Well, it does, fortunately, Nishida with the vision, but Lacar's not impressed with his team there. And that was a golden opportunity to score again. They've not taken it. Nishida, after a slow start, gets himself to 4 points. Good pick up from Kai. In a tricky position. Well, in comes blocking substitution. And it's Hiroto Nishiyama that comes in to the front court for a bit of extra height. Gets his fingers on it. Good defense from Nishida. Free ball comes back. Right, where does Oya go here? He's looking at Sato. No, goes out of the pipe. And it's very good work again. Had a good look at the middleman there just to see if he could attract the attention of the blockers, and did enough to open the court once again for Damas. Well, there's two elements that just aren't quite clicking yet for Suntory. The middles aren't quite working, and this man, Ran Takahashi, hasn't quite got into the game yet. And still can't do so. Without doubt, Takahashi's form of recent weeks has been impressive, and it's been the driving force behind Suntory's 12-win streak. First name on the team sheet with Mazurski at the moment. Out of system. Damas takes it high off the block again. What an impressive start from Alan Damas. 21-20, in comes a serving substitute, exactly as we expected. Kotaro Kai comes on from the bench, left-hander who rarely misses. He has a phenomenal percentage. He's up in the 80s for putting this ball in court. Jinxed it on this occasion. They've still got Rui Takahashi to go to if they need. But the first inclusion for Kotaro Kai is unsuccessful. Can't improve on his aces so far this season, all from the bench. Now then, we're back to this run of fearful serves, starting with Miguel Angel Lopez. Good serve, overpass is just tapped onto the floor. Oh yeah, out of that backcourt position, can't do anything about that. and that'll be the easiest point Masato Kai scores today. And Olivier Lecar has to gamble his second timeout to try and stop this Lopez service run, which could be a set decider if Suntory are not careful. Well, the two city rivals share a couple of venues, the Asui Arena and the Okini Arena. And when both teams are in town, you are guaranteed a packed crowd. But let's be honest, you're guaranteed a packed crowd every match you watch here in Japan. There's Taishi Onodera, another player that has been missed quite badly by Suntory. Starting middle, former Japanese international, who's announced his retirement now from the world stage. But he's been out for a long time and unlikely return before the end of the season. 22-21, Lopez goes again, takes a bit off it, passed by his Cuban colleague and put away beautifully by Damas, who is the top scorer in the match and is so for a reason. He's hitting some very crisp shots down there. Lopez's serve is gone, probably for the last time in this first set. Now we're into Mizerski, followed by Damas. Suntory in the driving seat here. And they get the trickle ace with a bit of luck. Now the one element here for Osaka Bluteon across these next two big servers of Suntory is the out ball to Kai takes him up against Oya. So Lecar may be tempted to make a blocking substitution when Damas gets to the line. Mizerski this time can't save his team. Big miss. How much can Kaitaro put on the ball? 23 all then. They need a couple of points cushion against Damas's serve. Nice hit, great pass. And out of system, Damas into the net. That's what Bluteon need if they're going to win the first set. Even if Suntory side out here, Bluteon are still in the hunt. Set point then for the home team. Kaitaro takes the pace off. Takahashi gets the pass. Out of the pipe he comes. Free net. Beautifully done. Blocker was already on his way down and Takahashi makes it count big time. Whoa, wonderful, wonderful stuff. Larry completely stranded. 24 all then, 2 clear points required. And this weekend's showcase match between the top two sides in the Daido Life SV.League is delivering. In comes Renaniki, point blocker on the Damas serve. This is where Suntory needs to try and win this set. Off the net. Chances. Lopez. Oh my goodness me. That was super powerful from the Cuban. You can't jump much higher, you can't hit it much harder, and Suntory's chance to win might just have vanished in this first set. None of the tactical substitutions have worked, and now Nishida can take it home. No, he gets it all wrong. Got right under it there and jammed himself up. 25 all, 2 clear points required. Remember, we play on until we get there. Masaki Oya remains in front court. So he is a target for Kai. And Kai attacks him. Mizerski, brilliant defense from the Russian. Then he gets the return ball and strokes it down the line. That is brilliant from Dmitry Mizerski. Oh, what a play. Well, you can't legislate for that. Did not see that coming. That looked like a free call for Masato Kai. But instead, Mizerski steps in with a bit of genius. Set point Suntory out of nowhere. First set point for Suntory Sunbirds Osaka then, against their city rivals. Okay, nervous pass, off the hands, under control. This is Suntory's chance. Mazerski gives them the first set. And what a brilliant finish from Dmitry Mazerski to a quite brilliant set. 27 points to 25. Suntory Sunbirds Osaka lead Osaka Bluteon by a 1-0 in this massive weekend head-to-head. Well, don't you just love it when two teams hit top gear at the same time? It was a stunning performance from both sides. But when it really mattered, the big man, Dmitry Mazerski, came to the party. Huge defence from a player that stands 7 feet 2. Let's enjoy the highlights. Plenty of them. Seriously talented athletes out on that floor, some seriously scary power. Mazerski, Lopez, Damas and Kai all bringing the heat. Only Takahashi still to get into this game, really. And if that happens, if Suntory get Takahashi into the match, if the middles start to function, Bluteon's task gets just that little bit tougher. Masato Kai, last weekend's top scorer against Wolf Dogs. And as brilliant as he was, missed is probably a little harsh, but didn't put away the key shot when Mazerski defended him down the line. Toki's done really well with some very tight passes. In general, the ball control of Bluteon in that first set was magnificent. They didn't let Mazerski and Damas really hurt them from the service line, but things could change in this match, and they can change either way. Osaka Bluteon by no means are out of this, but it certainly looks like Suntory Sunbirds Osaka have the measure in those key positions if they can just keep working and keep the ball under control. Mazerski with a last bit of advice for all of his teammates. He loves a bit of that. And we love watching Dmitry in this sort of form. Set 2 then underway in one hell of a game of volleyball from the Dido Life SV.League. Great start. Kai bangs a serve. The overpass goes to the team in black. And Osaka Bluteon, the league leaders, the home. One apiece then. Lowry. Good serve. Good pass. Fujinaka. Great set. But no, the blockers are up to the task. And Ran Takahashi is still struggling to get into this game. Block from Lopez makes up for the earlier hitting error. He flies, he just flies. 1.90 m tall, exactly the same as Damas, but they are head and shoulders over that net. Here we go at last. Oh yeah, gets another middle ball away, this time Kenji Sato. So that's the second time they've combined for a point. That was well hit by the left-hander, contorting himself in the air. And this brilliant head-to-head continues. And it is blow for blow, point for point. Brilliant attack. A brilliant attack. Masato Kai out of the pipe there. Nails it against a completely free net. This is a training hit. There you go. Fill your boots, son. 8 points for Kai. 8 points for Mazerski. Those are the two top scorers at the moment. Good pass. Takashi then races in. Kenji Sato given the ball again. And he makes a rather nice shot this time to the other corner. This is good awareness from Sato. Really like that because his angle was covered very nicely there by Kaitaro. This is just a brilliant game. We've barely seen any errors. It is just great play after great play. Lopez dispatches the ball back to the service line now. And a serve that can cause damage for Suntory. Fortunately for them, the net is in the way. And we're looking for those tiny indications that Bluteon are just coming off their top game. That might be one of them. And although the scoreboard is still close, this next phase of play is positive for Suntory. Zerski hits a good one, beautifully passed by Yamamoto under pressure. And Kai is blocked. Great little stack block there. This time Oya stays in the front court to make the play. And then joins the three-man block. In hope, more than anything, as he watches the Lopez ball whistle past. Who's going to be the first man to double figures? Lopez on 8 now, along with Kai and Mazerski. Off pacer, Damas doesn't pass it well. Block is well set. Lopez digs off the top of the fingertips. And that's a great finish. Kai scores again to go to 9, but it was the block and the defense of Lopez that earned the point. How cool was that Kaitaro made himself available on the pipe? The middle blocker, seeing that Lopez was out of the attack. That's brilliant awareness. And that's a brilliant hit from Damas. He's barely put a foot wrong in this game. He goes to 9. And the race for double figures can be won here by a Damas ace. Now, these next 3 rotations, with the blocking lineup that Suntory can offer, it is really a Bluteon scoring opportunity. And if they can get rid of this serve, which they do with a thunderous Larry attack, if they get rid of that Damas serve, these next few minutes are Bluteon's chance. What a beautiful hit. What a player. Bluteon 7-5. Nishida to serve. This is their chance to open the lead up. That's better. Oh, that's well defended though. Takahashi still not scoring. And the block is out. That's good enough. There's your first man to double figures. Masato Kai makes it to 10 with the block out swing. Golden opportunity here for Osaka Bluteon. Suntory not making the most of their first decent run of servers. Cracking defense from Yamamoto. Good chase from Lopez. And Takahashi still can't get a set that he can hit. And he's getting a bit frustrated out there, is Ran Takahashi. Once again, good vision from Masato Kai. And just a little cutter inside the three-man block. Undefendable, really. 4-point lead. Lacar forced into a timeout, and it feels like Suntory have fluffed their lines quite early in this set. Didn't get themselves any points on the Damas serving double. And Bluteon, through their phase of strength from the, not really all from the baseline, it's a lot to do with the blocking lineup. Kashiwada is not a tall man at 193 in the middle. Ran Takahashi is just 188, and Oya is 10 centimetres shorter than that. So the front court here for Suntory is there to be used and abused, but it's all dependent on Osaka getting the ball into transition or getting a good serve away, and they've done all of that. The defence of Yamamoto has been superb. Tomohiro Yamamoto in the white shirt, along with Lopez, creating opportunities. That was a weird one. Just what you need from your teammate. Oh dear, that's crept under the net. Well, that's either drinks for the whole stadium or cakes at the next training session, whatever the rules are locally. Nice hit. Nice defense, brilliant. Oh, so unlucky. Oh, not for the first time in the game. Mazerski defends Kai, but this time without success. Kai gets himself another point. He's rampant at the moment. He goes to 12, and he goes to the service line with a 4-point lead. Terrific commitment there from Damas. We've seen it from Lopez on the other side, the two Cubans putting it all on the line in defense. Good pass, great attack, but still doesn't get put away. And Mazerski on a free net, not even Yamamoto can oblige this time. Well, every so often a game arrives where it is pure quality all the way, and it's been exactly that in this match. This is a pleasure to watch. Brilliant. We haven't seen that for a while, have we? The Nishida wind-up. 5 points for him. Had a tough time of it in recent seasons, but he's still got it. He can still provide the firepower. That's a good sign. Shouting out commands. Nishida's in the game. Sato quietens this Osaka crowd with his 5th point. Another good left-handed swing from the number 2. So Mazerski into the front court. That just gives them a little more blocking power. But Matoki has studiously avoided the big Russian at the moment. He's not given him a chance to excel on the tape. And Takahashi remains a little quiet in the game until then. Right on cue. Steps up for his 4th point on an ace. Well, they're trying to target Kai if they can. Lopez and Yamamoto very solid passers. But Lopez tested there. Kai steps in as the setter. 3 blockers get hands on it, but not enough. And Lopez has done a good job there. He's 1 point away from double figures. And Bluteon hold on to a 3-point lead, but remember there's the big servers to come still for Suntory. And on their next visit, they could recover. Anything prior to that is a bonus for the team in red. Good effort from Takahashi, and frustration continues for him. interesting with Nishida, Yeski and Lopez out on the floor all together at the start of the season. It felt like a very different team out there. Yeski and Nishida very much taking the lead in trying to control games. But Lopez has had to step up in recent weeks, and he's got game face on today as the Cuban. He's one of the greatest entertainers in the sport. But he's all about the points today. He's all about trying to get this job done. And they've got a chance to level the match before the break. Bluteon. Motoki to serve then. Nishida back to the front court. Oya, though, has that release ball. And bravo, shouts Olivier Lecar, and well he might. Double figures then for Dmitry Mizerski. Nice late release, just gives Mizerski all the space he wants. Wow. First time in months. Taishi Onodera returns to the court as a blocking substitute. 2 meters and 2, former Japan international. Good serve from Sato. Good block from Onodera. Straight into the action. Takes his hands away. That's brilliant. What a contribution from Taishi Onodera. Nishida was going for the fingers. Onodera takes the hands away, and his former international teammate misses the court. That is rather brilliant from the substitute. Fourth error in the match from Nishida. And Sato cleverly puts it into play again. That's all he needs to do here. Give the blockers a chance, but a late arrival. Too late to stop Lopez. He's into double figures now. 3 men home now to 10 points plus. Kai and Lopez for Bluteon. Mizerski on the other side of the net for Suntory. And Onodera stays out there. Interesting. He's obviously fit to play at last. Good serve. Great coverage. Mizerski goes for the tip, and it's not processed. Defenders were not ready there. They were already involved in the previous play and struggling to get back into position. Mizerski's very nicely shut down. Lopez. Important serves these. Wow. Now, the referee has given that one way. Look at this collision off the block. Wow, that looked mighty close to Damas, but the referee's got it right. Nishida thought he won the point there. Damas into double figures. Mizerski to serve. Here's the problem time for Bluteon. And it starts with a slightly fortuitous ace, the second one he's served. He's had a trickle ace, and now just a little clip off the shoulder of Lopez, who was trying to get out of the way. And through this next phase of rotations for Suntory, they can get back on level terms. Good pass, Kai. Return ball is blocked well. Taishi Onodera has made a wonderful return to the Suntory court. Brilliant to see him back in action, especially in this form. Well, class, as they say, is permanent. I think Oya is going to be given that, but it's a nice arrival on the angle. And we are level with Damas' serve still to come. So this is an important side out for Suntory. Against the quite tricky serve of Kaitaro. Got to be careful here, Suntory, that they don't mess up on ball control. That'll do. That will do very nicely. What a super dig from Motoki. Oh, Damas gets across and makes the block, but it's worked pretty nicely here for the home team. Oh, magnificent from Fujinaka. Genius volleyball, both sides of the net. A stunning rally, which Masato Kai bounces to finish. What a great Great finish to a fantastic rally. And what a piece of defensive work from Fujinaka. Another free net from Motoki for Kai. Thumbs up to the setter. Very important point for Bluteon because it gives them protection against the Damas serve to come next. His first kill for 3 months. Tachi is back in business. That is superb. No wonder he's smiling. This is an important service run here. Can Damas score a few points? Tight. Oh, great reuse again from Kai off the block. And Nishida tickles it past the blockers and home. Not his most glorious kill, but they all count. And Suntory getting a bit eager at the net, not finishing opportunities. And for the second time in this second set, both Mazerski and Damas' serve pass without damage. Any real damage, that is. And Nishida can open the doors again. Opens his shoulders. Oh, can't save it. And the ace from Nishida produces a very solid 3-point lead. And let's be honest, this should be enough for Bluteon to take it home in set 2. Nishida is fired up. Take your eyes off this game. Lecard then with his second time out. Last throw of the dice. Onodera has been a real positive coming in, but they've not this time been able to create the points they needed. They might get one more go at those 2 rotations. Not that that's the be-all and end-all, but it's such a crucial factor for Suntory in terms of scoring. But it's Bluteon's opportunity here to force the issue. 3-point lead should be good enough. Another fizzing serve. Another beautiful pipe attack. The blockers were on that. They thought they had Damas bang to rights there. Watch the reaction of Larry and Kai. They both got up. Kai thought he had it. So, Suntory need to score in different ways here. Block and defence. Onodera's serve is the first thing he's done wrong all match. And by all match, I mean in the last 5 minutes that he's been on court. Wonderful to see him back in business. Cracking player. Great ambassador. Kai. Big serve. Fujinaka overpass. And Masaki Oya lucky not to touch the net there. You are kidding me. Still in play and then forced off the fingertips. The 2 setters go head to head. And the man in the number 21 shirt, Motoki, stands 1-9-3 against 1-7-8 for the man in the number 9 top. No contest. It's the second direct point for Motoki in the game. No luck this time from Kai, but that forceful last serve allows them to maintain a very handy lead here. And I will repeat myself, that should be enough to make it 1-1 in a game that has already got 5 sets written all over it. Good touch. Oh yeah, about time he came to the defensive party. And Mazerski takes it way over the block. Nishida decided he wasn't going to play this. Yamamoto had a go at it. Might have been going out. Didn't touch the blockers. But Yamamoto can't control it, so it's all immaterial anyway. 12 points for Mazerski. Can he block his team back into the game? Good defense again. Oh, that's unlucky. Two players committed to the ball, which meant there was nobody left to chase, except Takahashi from front court. Larry's playing well. Kataro's serving really well. And now the captain's going to come in as a point blocker. He is their tallest man, Akihiro Yamauchi, at 2 meters and 4. Another man who's announced he's stepping back from international duty. Good serve from Larry. Out of system for Takahashi. He's done well. He's gradually working his way into the match, and as Damas slows down on the scoring, Takahashi usually steps in to replace him. So Damas and Mazurski are both front court now. This is all about getting the ball into transition for Suntory Sunbirds Osaka in the red. That's the only way they're scoring points here, unless it's a block. Good block from Mazurski. Here's the transition chance. They don't put it away. And Nishida makes them pay full price. Well, you can see where Suntory's opportunities are, and you can see that in set 2 they're not taking them at the moment. And it looks unlikely now that they're going to get back into this contest. It's going to need a little run of brilliance from somebody. They've certainly got the players to do that, but Bluton in the driving seat at the moment for 1-all. Itoki, short serve, well passed by Sato. Mazurski makes it look easy on that back set. Equals Masato Kai as top scorer on 13. Big grin from the big man. Now, even more important visit than last time for serving substitute Kotaro Kai. Can he put this in court? He can. Lopez passes well though, takes the return ball and slams it off his Cuban teammate's hands. How good has Lopez been today? Kai, decent serve, but he goes back to the bench. This should be Bluton's set, and it could be right here on this rotation. Lovely serve, lovely pass, and lovely finish. Oh yeah. Back to the season starter, Taishi Onodera. Hasn't been on court since Christmas, but he gets his second kill of the match. Now his block will be very, very important, with the diminutive Oya in the front line. They do get Mazurski back to the baseline. Hits a good one. Oh, swift move by the technical staff. And ball wafted out of play by Masato Kai. Oh, Bluton. Now it's their turn to waste opportunities. And a concerned Ito Takeshi calls timeout. And it may well be concerned, because he would have been hoping his team could have got that over the line before the return of Mazurski and Damas to serve. And it feels like a lot of this match hinges on this next play. Tomaszewski in there and making his point to the players. Here's your classic risk and reward. Does he go for it, Dmitry Mazurski? Does he risk everything? And remember, his risk very often comes with the reward of an ace. But if he misses, Bluton have 2 set points. He goes hard. Lopez passes beautifully well. And brilliant defense from Fujinaka. And Mazurski can't beat Matoki. Lovely defense from the setter. It's tight. Nishida doesn't put it down. Bluteon go again. Oh, superb from Kai this time. Hell of a point. And he's one away now from 15. He's having a good game. Great set, Matoki, after a wonderful piece of defence. And Suntory's opportunity to level the scoreline at 23-all drifts by. 2 set points do arrive for the home team. Off-pace serve, passed easily, out of the baseline. Brilliant defence. Onodera chooses to be careful, and it was well worth it. That was well worth it. Damas given the ball to put away. He does so for 12 points in the match. And Bluteon's first opportunity to win set number 2 goes. In comes Renaniki. And the 2 middle blockers who started the season every match for Suntory are side by side in front court. Oniki next to Onodera. Where does Matoki go? That's assuming they can pass the Damas serve. Brilliant hit. Oh, wonderful dig from Lopez. And that's brilliant volleyball, both sides of the net again. Mazurski out of system, can't put it down. Lopez screaming for the pipe. Can't put it past the block, but it's a net touch. It's a net touch. And Osaka Bluteon win a stunning second set to level this rip-roaring match at 1 set all. What a game of volleyball. 27-25, Suntory took the lead. 25-23, Osaka Bluteon bounced back very strong. And we go back to the changing rooms for the 2 teams and off to the 10-minute recess between these 2 sets. A chance to get your breath. But you can be back with us on VBTV very shortly to resume what is a stunning game of volleyball. It's 1-1 at the moment. Stay with us. Both sets of players then back in the Akini Arena and ready to resume this scintillating game of volleyball. In the dark tops, Osaka Bluteon, the home side for this particular fixture, top of the league and have been so for pretty much the whole of the season. And they're up against the number 2 team, the reigning champions in the red, Suntory Sunbirds Osaka. They're city rivals in this derby match. What a game of volleyball it's been. And it's very clear, Suntory, if they take their chances through the phases of the game when they can score, then they do look like they can get the job done today. But my goodness me, Osaka Bluteon have resisted quite brilliantly. Masato Kai is the top scorer. He has delivered when required. Lopez has been a real force. And then Nishida having to play a slightly more backup role today in that right side slot. He's still coming to the party at key moments. And what they've done so well, Bluteon, is they've stopped Suntory scoring through the big phases of the match when Suntory, we know, can run away with sets. When they've done it, it means they've kept themselves in contention, and although it was tight in set number 2, this time they took the chance. Well, I know you can't write scripts where sport is concerned, but more of the same, please. It's been a stunning watch. And we're just about good to go again. That's a welcome return. Good to see the smiling face of number 1 Taishin Odera back in action for Suntory Sunbirds. We're good to go then with set number 3. In the red, Suntory Sunbirds Osaka took the first set but find themselves 1-1 now with the league leaders in the dark shirts. Osaka Bluteon know what they've got to do in this game to win it, and they've done pretty well at delivering. Just fluffed their lines in set 1 to allow Suntory back into the match, but managed to hold on with some quite terrific play to make it 1 apiece. Larry then with the serve. And Damas can't score. Lopez can go again. Defended by Oya. An out-of-system swing for Mazerski, who does very well with that. 14th point of the match for Dmitry Mazerski off a very awkward ball. And Lopez doesn't convert this time round. Bluteon don't have too many options, remember, in terms of winning sets. They can't afford to miss chances. They can't afford to let Suntory score. Sato with the error. Interesting that Onodera is starting this set ahead of Kashiwada and ahead of Renaniki. So the return looks to be a permanent one. Setter Eromotoki serves, and serves well for Bluteon. Then defends pretty nicely, but can't quite keep the Mazerski swing in play. And Mazerski's starting to exert a bit of control on this match now. That takes him to top scorer on 15, 1 ahead of Masato Kai. By my reckoning, that is. Computer sometimes disagrees. Mazerski's first visit. This is where Suntory have not made ground in the early phases. Nice defense. Good set from Mazerski and a beautifully hit ball. That's such a tough ball for Takahashi to hit. And to win the point off it, even better. But that's good awareness from Big Dimmer. Now here's the danger for Bluteon. If Suntory make points through the first 2 visits from Mazerski and Damas, it's going to be a very difficult set to win. Fortunately, Mazerski's just thrown a toss that's virtually impossible to hit. 1 in, 1 out. Lopez is the man who splits the two big servers for Suntory. He goes off pace, passed well by Onodera. It is a delicious pipe attack. And the man who struggled to get into the match in the early phases is now scoring at will, Ran Takahashi. 6 points for him as that's lashed to the floor. Damas to serve. No. And for, what, fifth or sixth time now? Mizerski and Damas fail to punish Bluteon. That's good for the home team. That puts them immediately in the mix. Easily defended on Onodera. And Kai goes straight over the top of Oya, and he should be able to do so. Centimeters taller than the setter is Masato Kai, so through these rotations he should be beating Oya. Great block. Good block from Kai on Mizerski. Good recovery. Motoki throws up a chicken wing but sticks it in the crowd. And Takahashi scores again. I can make all the calls I want, all the predictions I want. The fact is, there are world-class players on the floor, and any one of them can change the direction of this match. It's a freebie for Lopez. Makes it look easy. Watch the height on this jump. It's frightening. It's frightening. Good serving for Bluteon in this match, but Nishida misses on this occasion, so we are still locked in the early phases of set 3. Bluteon have never let Suntory cut loose. That's been the impressive part of their management of this game. And they've been pretty ruthless on side out and transition. Nishida into double figures at last as he whacks it off Ran Takahashi's arms and away. Kai, impressive so far in this match. Right, no connection between Oya to Sato. And Lopez is stopped, only briefly. Stopped again though, this time properly. Sato responds with a massive block on Lopez. Good read from him to drop inside onto that angle. Sevens, Takahashi with a spinner. Lopez passes easily. Nishida hits it hard. And hits it hard enough. Takahashi once again head in hands. Can't believe this isn't still in play. Got himself in the right place as well. Just couldn't handle the Nishida power. The two great men have a laugh through the net with each other. What a hit. What a hit. I love the tempo. I know a lot of ball has to go high to Mizerski because it's out of system, but look at this when it's in system and he gets the set. That is just set to the top of the antenna by Oya, and Mizerski fetches it and hits it very hard. On his way to 20 points now. Oh dear. Oh dear, Kenji Sato. Straight over to apologise to the coach and teammates. Shocker of the serve. Brings Motoki to the line. Nishida into the front court. This is the phase where Suntory don't want to be losing points and losing their way. They've done well here. Again, Oya's trying to force that middle. It ain't working. Good defense. Hooked over after Oya picks it up. And another great lineup on the block, but not good enough. Nishida whacks it out off the arms of Suntory. I just said Suntory were not letting Osaka get away through these phases. These are the danger phases for Suntory Sunbirds, but they've allowed a 2-point cushion to open up. Mustn't let it get any bigger. Yeah, Damas has had the beating of Nishida for most of the game. Two men who stand 190 and 186. The Cuban 4 centimetres taller, but physically very similar at the net. Now back to the scoring phase for Suntory. It's a good start from Mazurski. Just bumped over. Again, the pipe, magnificent. Well, out of all the teams in this league, Suntory used the pipe more than most. And this is why it works a treat. Isolates the one blocker, and Takahashi and Damas and Swivka can all hit such great angles. Tens, Mazurski goes again. Messes himself up on the ball toss again. He does this a lot. He likes to toss the ball across himself, so he throws it right-handed across towards his left hand and then follows it. But when he gets it wrong, he can never catch it. He's still going through a rehearsal at the back there as Lopez serves, but this is worrying for Bluteon. If Lopez doesn't score, that puts them on the back foot. Once again, massive side out for the home team. And they get it for free. So we go to the technical timeout. Horns locked between these two great sides. And neither of them able to capitalise on their main scoring rotations just yet. This is what volleyball's supposed to look like. Two teams just keeping the scoreboard turning, neither team allowing the other to get away. And when you get that all the way through to the 20s, it's such a great spectacle to watch. So we're back into a phase when Bluteon should be able to side out without too much concern. But if they can get the ball into transition, they can open up a 2, 3, maybe even 4-point lead in these next few minutes. All providing, of course, that the servers can do what they've been doing for most of the game. And, Nishikawa Kataro puts it out. Onodera's had one go from the service line, and he was mighty close to an ace. Hits the hybrid pretty well, and there's a chance for Suntory. Taken. Good block. And Masato Kai a bit annoyed with himself there for finding, is it Takahashi's hands? It is. Super block from Ran Takahashi's into double figures as well. More importantly, Suntory sneak a single-point lead. Keep an eye on Oya. They might try and stack him if this Onodera serve gets the Osaka Bluteon team out of system, but of course it's all conjecture when the ball goes in the net. It'll do though. Gets them to 13 apiece. Make sure that 2-point lead isn't there when Nishida gets to the line. That's asking for trouble. Big hit. What a big hit. That's so important. That's such a major kill from Takahashi. And remember, we're thinking in terms of the way the outcome will be for this set. And for the moment, both teams are managing the opposition's scoring opportunities very well. That's Dimitri asking Ran, how did he do that? How did you do that? And Ran, more than happy to let him know. Mazurski into the front court, still avoided. Nishida puts it home. They're trying to stay out of Mazurski's blocking reach. They're not really interested. Motoki is not interested in setting up those challenges. He's just working the middle, working the back set when Mazurski is front court. I'd say it's worth a stack from Big Dimitri. He can hit from that side, so why not block that side as well? Just for a few, just occasionally, just to keep Motoki on his toes. Two great setters in discussion. Oh yeah, with his coach, former French setter Olivier Lecard. Oh dear, Suntory. Yes, losing their way at the service line at the moment in set number 3. Big misses from Takahashi and from Sato. Now Larry, he hits a good one. Great pass from Fujinaka, and again the pipe. Wonderfully disguised. Oya, for all the money, looked like he was going to Sato here. And a little hold on that set. Sato runs the back, and once again the pipe is ripped wide open for Takahashi to finish. 16-15. How long can Bluteon resist? Well, finally, Mazurski up against Lopez. That's a head-to-head we haven't seen much of in this match. But Motoki feeling he had to go there. And Lopez has beaten the big man. Points for Lopez now. Motoki serves. Rotations coming through very quickly. There's a lot of side-out volleyball here. And a few points happening just a little bit longer via the block. Brilliant shutdown. Nishida on Damas. Good read. Nishida not getting sucked into that middle contest. Just flowing all the way out to make a huge jump on Damas. Mini break on the Motoki serve. Big side out required here for Suntory. They don't get it. Yamamoto bumps it high to Nishida, who gets the reuse off the block. He goes again, and this time sweeps it out of play, although he thinks there's a touch on the block. Referee says no. Coach Takeshi challenges, and the referee watches for the blocker to own up. But if the blocker hasn't touched it, there's nothing to confess to. And at the moment, no blocker has gone for the green card. This may not be a block touch. Well, if it touched anyone, it looked like it would have been Damas. Still think they're missing a chance here to get into Motoki's head with a couple of stack blocks by moving Mazurski around at the net. No decision yet. Guess the man who would have touched it just behind Taishion Adera. and Damas looking pretty sanguine about the whole thing. Not sure that Coach Takeshi's going to get his point here. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Right then. So we've learned something quite valuable from that. It is a block touch off Alan Damas's fingertips. Do not play poker with Alan Damas, because his reaction gave us absolutely nothing, and it's the minutest of tickles off the fingertips that gives Nishida his point. A successful challenge, timeout called by Lekar. Sensible coaching. No green card for Alan. Brilliant. And the drama continues. We come back in to resume this enthralling battle. Again, we're just a couple of rotations away from a phase where Suntory can make big points. So very important for them, they don't let this lead slip any further. That was a huge, huge challenge. It was a huge kill from Nishida in the end. And Motoki's service run is doing damage once more. Oh, he was tempted. Was Mizerski, but leaves it on the air and gets himself the point. Suntory a point behind, but Bluton have put themselves in a position where they can win the set. It's just such a massively long way to go. Here we go, Mizerski then. Huge, Yamamoto, diving defense. And Lopez with a genius kill. Well, in set number one, they couldn't quite stop Suntory scoring in these rotations. In set number two, though, Lopez applied himself through a couple of passes when it really mattered. Yamamoto's done exactly the same to contain Mizerski. And Osaka Bluteon have the 2-point lead with Lopez serving. Off pace, passed well by Fujinaka. Damas is not scoring a lot of points here. And then, by the looks of it, oversteps the line or touches the net. Net touch. Oh dear. I wonder if Alexander Swivka is getting himself warm. Lopez miss, and you can see his reaction. This is a healthy lead for Bluteon, but Lopez feeling maybe not quite healthy enough. Get rid of this serve though, and Bluteon are in the driving seat for a 2-1 lead. Overpass. He's got to it. Did it go between the antenna? No challenge yet. Oh, super dig from Motoki. Nishida tips it off the block, defended by Fujinaka. Mizerski can't find the line or the block. And Suntory, I think, have blown it again. And the Osaka Bluteon have this remarkable ability to just keep that scoreboard ticking. They've proved in this match that even slightly under strength with regard to their injury problems and lack of their season starting head coach, that they still have it. They've still got what it takes, and this is a super effort to contain Suntory, to stop those runaway scoring runs. Second time out for Olivier Lekar, but he and his team will know that that's probably it for this set. So now it's going to take something pretty special from Suntory if they want to stay in this one. 3-point cushion should be enough for Bluteon. Good defense. Lopez on the pipe. Kai well played off the net. Overpass Mazerski. And somehow Suntory get another go. Brilliant defense from Nishikawa. And from Mazerski again. Out of the pipe once more. This time Damas does it with a roar of celebration. Superb application to the task. Again from both teams. That's a hell of a finish from Damas. Out comes Onodera. Serving substitute Kotaro Kai. He's capable of serving aces. In he comes, Ren Oniki into the front court for block. See if his height will do the damage here. Brilliant. That is a brilliant play. Oh, you can nag middle hitters till the cows come home about running this angle. It's a devastating angle, honestly. And if the 4-player doesn't cover it, it's a freebie. Great shot, great pass, great set, and Bluteon in control. Kai returns to the bench. Nishida, ace. Oh, wow. Osaka Bluteon are playing out of their skins right now. Every single box that needs to be ticked is getting ticked at the moment by the home side. And they are riding this one all the way to a 2-1 lead. Nishida to serve again. He's got his serving boots on today, Nishida. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Larry gives it the double flex after roofing Takahashi. This is a rather humbling finish to set number 2. Bluteon stamping their authority on the game. And every time it looks like Suntory are starting to find rhythm, they miss their opportunities to score, and Bluteon are punishing them big time. Great serving from Nishida. 4 set points to the home side in the black shirts. Well, good pass. I'd be looking at another middle ball here, and I think the blockers will be thinking the same. No, released on the back set, and blockers can't get there. Nishida doing a fine job for his team. And Osaka Bluteon just reminding us all why they are still top of the table. They have depth on the bench, but they have this remarkable ability to control the ball. 25-20 in the third. Bluteon lead 2-1. Suntory's body language looks a little negative, and after a 12-match unbeaten run, they are in danger of losing here today in game 1. And Bluteon can make sure they go through to the playoffs as the number 1 seeds. Well, it's difficult to see anything else happen in this match than what we've seen already. Pretty sure we're going to get a very similar game pattern here, with Suntory throwing everything they can at Osaka Bluteon, but if Bluteon can resist, they can win this match in 4. If they can't resist, and Suntory finally cut loose, then we could be going to 5. But more than that, Suntory can still win the game. Beaming Taishion Adere, he must be so delighted to be back on court, back in the action. And it looks like he's never been away. He's come straight back in, made a bunch of points. International teammate though, Yuji Nishida, had a real influence on that last set. Well, they've blunted the weapons of Osaka Bluteon. They've managed to stop the real scoring riot from the service line of Mizerski and Damas. But they've also managed to curtail the offensive work of some of their key players, and Takahashi certainly hasn't had it all his own way today. Damas's effectiveness is fading just slightly. No Swievka just yet, but we'll see. Challenge is on again for both sides. Set 4, we're good to go. Well, this has been a terrific game of volleyball to watch, but Osaka Bluteon have played some wonderful stuff out there. Oh, and they continue to do so. Next man into the action. Larry with the block. Good read this. Yeah, very good read on the back set. Nice serve. Out of system again. Mizerski under pressure. He's thundered it. Absolutely nailed that one. Body language a bit more positive now from Suntory. I think they know they're still in this contest. Still think this is a tough one for Bluteon to get over the line. In 4 sets, certainly. Not saying they can't do it. They've played brilliantly. But the dangers are still there. Too good. Well, Lopez hasn't been able to go up against Mizerski that much in this game, but when he has, he's beaten him easily. Stunning hit. Oh, what a serve from Larry. Free ball. Should be 3-1. It is. And that's even with the blockers reading the pipe. Masato Kai hammers it home. And maybe that's the secret. Maybe that's the spread of the offense that Motoki has available. I saw Motoki criticised on social media a couple of weeks ago for his setting, but I've seen nothing wrong in this game. He's made good choices. He's put the ball in the right places. Oh, wow. This is just turning into a hitting fest. Who can burst the Mikasa? Well, this man probably can on his day. Mizerski about to try and melt another serve. And we're back into this phase of the game where Bluteon have to be perfect. Perfect they are. That's exquisite volleyball. And Mizerski's serve curtailed. Nishikawa, magnificent swing. He's not been set much in this match, but he's pounded that for fun. Good response. Damas forces it through. Now he will serve. Still commitment though from Bluteon. It was brilliant from Lopez to try and get down and Keep that ball in play from Yamamoto. Again, Oya in the front line, makes it a target. Not taken on this occasion. Motoki doesn't find the middleman, and Takahashi finds his angle. First transition point for Suntory in a while. It's very thoughtful from Taishi Onodera. Pondering greater things, I suspect. Good serve, Damas. Nishida gets the reuse off the tip, but gets the net touch as well. And not for the first time in this match, the big servers pass through the line without any serious issue on the scoreboard. You can see the difference in the block on Onodera, outreaching by some way. Lopez lamps one, well passed. Pipe is magnificent. It really is magnificent to watch these athletes in action. This is another stunning play. Yeah, good work. Onodera is seen off as the quiet man who's doing all the damage. Masato Kai puts another one away. He's their top scorer, one ahead of Nishida. Nishikawa given license to swing hard at that one. Remember, this phase is where Bluton are trying to score heavily. Now Oya goes back to the service line, which brings Mazurski to the front court. Not quite as easily to exploit the opportunities on the net now for the team in the black shirts. Although you wouldn't know it, they continue to pile up the points, and Nishida continues to win the head-to-head battle with Dmitry Mazurski in some respects. Mazurski still leads on the scoreboard. He's got 18, but he's done nothing in this fourth set. Not so far. Nishida, what a great service run to finish off the last set. Well, he would in this one though. And Bluteon missing a few serves here, so not quite as honed as they were. Takahashi spinner coming. Easily dealt with by Lopez. Nishida catches Fujinaka high on the shoulder, defended. And a good reuse off the block by Damas. And a nice line. It's turned to double flex after the kill. Everybody's going for it, everybody's pumped up here. That's good. That's good defense from Fujinaka. Not sure he knew too much about it. And then a nice finish. Damas goes over the top of Motoki. Suntory have a lead. Short-lived. Thanks to the brilliance of Yuji Nishida. Still a young man, mid-20s. If he stays injury-free, no reason why he can't feature in Laurent Tilly's New Japan lineup. And Bluteon's serve is a concern here. Suntory not having to work for their side-out points at the moment. Kai, the latest defender. Kenji Sato then with the serve. Good blocking. Great coverage from Yamamoto, and Lopez given another chance. This time with just the one blocker, he's not going to miss. He's already proved that. And this season he's proved to be a wonderful acquisition for Osaka Bluteon. which, if you were wondering, Bluteon means eternal blue. The change in name from Panasonic Panthers. Nice. Nice. Onodera's having fun out there. He's just glad to be back. Looking totally chilled out there as well. Right, back to the tricky run. The Bluteon have to defend. And there's the first big server gone. Probably got to win this battle another time after this, so it's not just this visit. And I'm not saying it's the be-all and end-all of every set against Suntory Sunbirds, but he's such a key factor on the scoreboard, on the stats. But if you can remove those two servers without too much damage, you are definitely in with a chance. 14th point out of the pipe for Takahashi. I make that double figures on the pipe now for Masaki Oya in today's match. Use that play a lot. Why not, if it ain't broken, all that? Yeah, Damas with the serve. It's a good one. Kai defends. Nishida out of system, rolls it off the fingertips, and that's Damas done. That's Bluteon back in the driving seat for the moment. Remember, Damas and Mizerski are on the back line. Lopez serves. Got to make this play. And make it they do, despite some wonderful defensive work from Yamamoto. Mizerski scores. Suntory lead 12-11 at the technical timeout. And this game is still wide open. I often wonder what the stars of days gone by who perform these tunes, the writers of these tunes, feel when they hear them played in these big arenas. It's a great story about Gary Kemp of Spandau Ballet, 1980s band from the UK, and how his son was playing Grand Theft Auto, tuning the radio, and on came True, one of their great hits, and how that made him feel, something a little out of the ordinary. But I guess that's why you wrote and performed them, to be heard in these arenas. Certainly getting the crowd going this one, YMCA. Right, Renoniki comes into the action. Little throw of the dice here from Olivier Lecar. Onodera whips the ball into play on the hybrid serve. And Kai slaughters it, but it's defended before the net is touched. Good serve. Solid pass from Kai, but up against Oya. He's been winning that contest all day. Won't go down as his point because it was a net touch. Bluteon survive again. Nice. Well, that's one of the more lively hits that we've seen this season from Aniki. Really drove in then. Like that from the big man. 2 meters and 4 tall middleman is found nicely by Oya. Aniki's first point of the game. He stays out on the floor ahead of Sato. Good hands from Takahashi to slow down Nishida. And Mizerski back into the front court, can't kill it. This is a big point in the context of the match. And it could be a point that Suntory win. Mizerski can't put it away. They get another go though. Superb defense from Kai. And it's coming back. Unbelievable. Suntory again. And the pipe, this time, through Damas, gets the job done. A stunning barrage of offense from Suntory. Quite beautifully defended by Bluteon. And it's our first sniff at set number 5. And all done on the back of scoring. When Suntory are not necessarily in their best rotations, and that's a big old graze on the knee of the libero, Tomohiro Yamamoto. Brave stuff from him in defence. Damas canes his 14th point of the match. 14-12 is the lead. Big phase of play now. Mazerski, good block on Kai. Nishida, off the top of the hands, makes his play this time. Don't think he had anything else in mind other than block out, kill. And it always feels to me, if you've just hit a ball that hard in offence and you're the next player to serve, it always feels to me like the arm is ready. Shoulders are open. Good ball toss, and this could be Nishida ace. No, net intervenes. Not bad effort from Nishida on another crunching hit from Damas out of the back line. 15 points for him. Suntory, for the first time in the match, have got a lead to work with. It's been catch-up other than that. Kai, off the top of the fingertips, defended by Takahashi, comes out of the pipe with ease. And 5 sets now, looking like a possibility. Suntory can still win this match. It was difficult to see how this game could have gone anything but the distance, so closely matched to the two teams. And Bluteon, having had the better start, the better part of the opening exchanges, now find themselves very much on the back foot going into what could be a 5-set business end. I know I've talked about how good this is to watch and what a thrill it is for us as volleyball fans to be enjoying this, but just look at the players' faces. You just have to look at their reactions, their physical reactions in the rallies. They are completely dialed in for this match. There are big name players out there, and they've been in big matches over the years, and they are loving this. This is huge. This is a big point as well for Bluteon. And it's a big point that he's finished by a Renaniki block on Yuji Nishida. I think that's it. I think that pretty much guarantees us set number 5. Because the next time Mazerski and Damas serve, they should be doing so with a big lead. They can just hit it hard. Good defense. Great pickup from Fujinaka. Oh, nice from Lopez, full commitment. And still, these points continue with glorious work, both sides of the net. Oh, wow, Motoki saves the day. And that's clever. That is clever from Kai. Suntory feel that he's played it in their airspace. Referee says this is all fine. And the blockers here have been caught napping. What a touch from Motoki. What a clever little play. What a clever little play that is from Kai. So, if Bluteon are to avoid 5 sets, they've got to start playing soon. But their service in set number 4 has not worked. Masato Kai, the latest defender. And considering what a great game he's had, that's the one element of his play today that hasn't been on form, the serve. 4-point cushion should be enough with those two to still come. 13 and 7. Mazerski and Damas at the service line. And it's all going wrong for Bluteon here. First time Motoki has missed his man in the middle. He's done nothing wrong in this match, Motoki. Blocked well, defended well, served well, and he's set a very decent offense. But now Bluteon find themselves a long way back. Yeah, that looked to me like Tomaszewski was getting the nod from coach Ito Takeshi. Another player that hasn't featured in the Daido Life SV League for a couple of months now. Bluteon superstars in the crowd, not available to play this match. They've had their fair share of issues injury-wise, Bluteon this season, but still maintain their high levels. But they are being tested today, that's for sure. 5-point lead. Amiki wails it out. Not a problem. It really isn't a problem, because if Suntory can side out here, they can probably put this set to bed. So this is an important serve for Larry. Nice hit. Where's this power come from? Larry's working so hard. It's good defense. Oh yeah, active in position 6, and Mazerski with a clever tip. Just suggesting to his teammates that his vision on that one was excellent. I agree. 20 points reached in the match for Mazerski. And there is a big opportunity here. Yeshki comes back into the action for the first time in a while. So the American is on court, and that could be a hint of a starting lineup for the 5th set. Takeshi's team under pressure. Mazerski can't deliver any momentum. That's what Suntory need, a bit of momentum heading to 5. And that substitution just doing enough to take Mazerski's concentration. Olympic medalist in the action then. Tomaszewski. Oh dear, Suntory have to watch it here. And Olivier Lecard doing what he's done so often in the second half of this season. As soon as he senses trouble, presses the timeout buzzer. Well, if they can score a couple of points here, if they can get to 19 Bluteon before Damas arrives at the line, they can still win this in 4. It still looks odds on that Suntory will take this to 5, but never say never, and Bluteon might just get a shot. Be really interested to see Jeski, if he does get to front court, whether he gets a swing. Masato Kai is the man he's replaced, so we're back to the original starting lineups that Bluteon were employing in the early phases with their wing spikers, that is, Lopez, Yeshki, Nishida on the floor. Nice finish from Onodera. They don't manage to take the scoring any deeper. Suntory favourites now to make this 2-all. Oh yeah, out, Swivka in, and does what every experienced player should do in that situation, just making sure everybody understands he's the setter. He's come in and he will set the ball because he's going to block out on the right side. Important there to let Fujinaka know that, who may have tried to sneak in. Oh dear. Oh dear, Suntory are keeping this set alive by their serve errors. Mazerski and Damas miss. Oya will come back in. Swiefka doesn't get to touch the ball. Yeshki does not go to front line. Both he and Masato Kai are 2 meters tall, so they're not losing height by taking Yeshki back out. He was just on as a passing sub. Did well enough, and Lopez to serve. This is important now. Good service run here, puts Bluteon in the frame. But no, the pipe denies them. Damas denies them. 21 points in the match for Alan Damas, 20 points for Dmitry Mazerski, those two flying. And still the carrot of a 5th set is dangled. Kai onto the court from the bench once again, hits a good serve, but his namesake Masato Kai demolishes the return ball for 19 points. It's a good hit. Good finish, straight on the top of Oya again. Still 3-point cushion to defend. Nishida with a good serve. Mazerski hasn't done a huge amount in this set, but does that pretty well. Hammers it off Larry's block and away. He equals Damas's tally, 42 points or so between the pair. Mazerski front line. Oya to serve, 2 points required to force the issue into a 5th and final set. Good block from Aniki. Very good set from Oya, from Fujinaka, my apologies. The libero there under real pressure. Manages to get airborne and find Mazerski, who now takes over in top spot on the scoring charts. More importantly than that, Suntory have a 5-point lead, and I think they can still win this match. I think they are still favourites here with this comeback. Bluteon are going to have to play some serious ball. Aniki touches the net. Osaka Bluteon have to find 4 points on this next serving run. Otherwise, it's the tiebreaker to 15. Wouldn't you know it? And if there's a player that can do this, if it's a player that can serve Bluteon back into the game, he's at the line right now. Nishiyama comes in for blocking duties. Nishida prepares to become the hero once again. Good first serve, well passed. And the pipe is hit off the net and wide. Larry had that covered. That's why Damas had to go a little steeper into the angle. That's why the net got involved. 3-point lead. 3 set points. Lekar instantly presses that timeout buzzer again. They've done a lot of work out of system. The block has been a little better. Nishida to try and save the day. Triple ace. No. Oh yes. Well, Fujinaka's laid there for a long time just to try and show everybody that he still had his foot the other side of the centre line. But the officials have made their decision. It is ace, Nishida. He's reached 20 points. Well, what do we say about the SV.League? There's always room for drama. Nishida trying to provide it. 2 set points remain for Suntory. This is surely it now. Mazerski. Defended. Good work, no setter out on court, so they've constructed the point nicely there, but Suntory defend and finally finish. 5 sets then. A tiebreaker is required. And Suntory are very much back in this match. Well, let's be honest, from a neutral point of view, from a volleyball fan's point of view, this is the perfect result. We are given the tiebreaker to 15. The entertainment continues. And Osaka Bluteon just look a little gassed. They've put a huge amount on the line, physically and mentally, in this match. Suntory, though, have resisted. Just feels like a gradually expanding, increasing, improving performance by Suntory Sunbirds. But Osaka Bluteon may find themselves powerless to resist in the fifth, but as all of you out there in VBTV land know, fifth sets are an unusual thing. They are enigmatic, to say the least, and it's never in the bag. That's unusual from the car. Wants a few smiles out of his men. He looks relaxed, he looks very chilled, and it's a slightly more tense affair on the Osaka Bluteon bench. And the home team feeling it, physically and mentally here. They were in control of that match. They were playing some beautiful volleyball. They were stopping all of the main weapons from Suntory until set number 4. And if they fail to stop Mazursky, Damas and Takahashi in this fifth set, then they will pay the price. It's good work from Yeshiki with the man who has replaced him at the moment in the lineup, Masato Kai, just having a little bit of fun with the young Suntory Sunbirds Osaka, and the league leaders, the home team Osaka Bluteon in black. And the first point in that shootout goes the way of Bluteon and Miguel Angel Lopez, who's had a marvellous game. Some big rotations to come. Good serve. Larry's serving today has been astonishingly good. But the response from Suntory is stinging. Damas nearly takes Larry's head off here. Magnificent game he's had. 22 points in the bag, by my reckoning, for the Cuban. 1-1. Scoreboard will catch up momentarily. Huge. That's huge. And that was past one of the tallest blocks in the league. Dmitry Mazursky next to Taishi Onodera, but there's enough room for Lopez to work. And that's one of the biggest hits today. That was so fast. 2-1, Bluteon. Massive in response from Takahashi. Scores level again. Scoreboard will catch up, hopefully. It's 2-2. Mazursky to serve. Oh, massive. Kai somehow gets a piece of skin on it. What a hit. Beautifully defended by Fujinaka. And then the reuse off the block is good. Bit of control for Suntory, but too much control in the block from Osaka Bluteon. Fabulous rally again. To Bluteon. Well, the dig from Fujinaka was off his foot. The block though from Lopez, all hands. 20 points for him in the game. He serves into the net, unfortunately for Bluteon. 3-all, scoreboard is back on track. Wry smile from Damas as he marches to the line. One Cuban follows another at the service. Listen to this crowd, still going. Magnificent. Correct in terms of distribution there by Motoki. Going back to Kai so that he can go over the top of Oya. That looked pretty easy. $20 points for him. He's played well. Good serve, Nishida. What a belter from the middleman. Off the head of the blocker, played on. Lopez can't get another hit away. Kai can't kill it against Takahashi. And Damas, alive to the situation, finds the space out of the pipe. Both he and Dmitry Mazersky now level on 23 apiece. Damas, though, throwing his hat in the ring for MVP with some superb volleyball today. Was a little quiet in set 3, but came back strong in set 4. And is once again kept Swivka on the bench. Madera, good hybrid serve from him. And not quite defended. Must have clipped the block. But Damas to have a go at that one. And Nishida scores. What a set. What a set. A one-handed deflection by Motoki. Now then, next phase of the game where a lead can open up. Nishida at the line. Had a good run at the back end of set 4. It's a good hit. Fujinaka takes Oya away from the net. But again, Mazersky does enough. How many times this season has Mazersky got his team out of trouble? I can't be more precise than lots, but it's been a load. He really has been key once again in his 7th season here with Suntory. 5 apiece. Oya serves Lopez. Lopez with a good pass, and Nishida gives it absolutely everything again. He is undersized as an opposite. You can't get away from the fact. But he shouldn't be doing the things he does at 1.86 m, but he does. He's fully committed, Nishida. What a skillful player. Good hustle. Oh, wonderful blocking. Motoki and Larry, Roof Mazersky and Osaka Bluteon steal a valuable lead. Something to work with. Wonder who got all of that. It was all Larry. Oh, magnificent. Oh, what a time to turn it on. And Bluteon take it to the side switch at 8-5 on the Masato Kai ace. What an ace and what a player to ace. He's beaten Takahashi. But remember what I said about 5th sets. Remember the enigma that is the shootout to 15. And a lead at the change of ends doesn't necessarily guarantee you the win, even if it's a 3-point lead. Good weight. Olivier Lacar, patient on the buzzer, gets maximum effect from the delay. Suntory not out of it yet. Bluton will be fully aware. If they can steal another point here, that'll be gold dust. But Masato Kai has got a difficult job to serve after the change of ends, then the timeout. I think this is one he's got to just make Suntory play. And he does so. Well, the ball's off Lopez's block and into the antenna, but it was living dangerously. Takahashi gets his point. And Bluton don't have a big enough lead here. 8-6 will still feel fragile. Good power serve, overpass, defended by Fujinaka. Mizerski gets a big set. And it's very, very tight. And he's used all of his body weight there to win the joust. He puts his hand on it and you are not moving 110 kilos. That's like trying to push back against a big old refrigerator. 1 point in it. Takahashi goes with another good serve, hits Kai. Nishida fakes the shot, just volleys over, free ball, should be level. It is level. Out of the pipe, Takahashi does the job. Brilliant comeback from Suntory Sunbirds. It felt like a fragile lead, it's proved to be so. And now the major problem for Bluton is that they are going to have to face Mizerski and Damas probably at a critical time in this set. 8-all, gloves are off, all bets are off. It's game on again. Ito Takeshi just calling timeout to let his Bluton players reset. Oh, this is massive. What a game. Second time this season these two great teams have been to 5. Suntory lost out first time around to Bluton, but they look in pretty good nick here to take it home in this second 5-setter. Tomaszewski back into the action. Passing substitute for the Takahashi serve. And it's a good timeout by coach Takeshi. But the issue still remains, if it's a big if Suntory can side out smoothly for the next few minutes, they have the servers that can still cause problems. Bluton, though, with the likes of Larry, can still be an issue. Good pass. And Larry throws up the chicken wing, can't defend against Aniki. Well, since coming in for Sato, he's been good, and they are back to their original starting lineup from the early part of this season with Aniki and Onodera in the action, but Ren Aniki asked to come back to the bench for the serve of Kotaro Kai. Good hit, Lopez, good pass, gets the return ball, Mizerski gets hands on him. Great block from the Russian on the Cuban. And again, good defense from Jeski off the block. And brilliant finish. Oh, cometh the hour, cometh the man. Yuji Nishida with the kill. .23 on the day for him. He joins the ranks of the top scorers. He meant that. My goodness me, he meant that. Now then, it's still not problems over for Bluton by any means. If they can sneak some points here, that will be invaluable. They need them right here. Matoki with the serve. Pipe is defended, brilliant. Can Lopez finish? Oh no! What a block from Mizerski. And that hit the floor before Lopez. Oh wow, what a moment. What a moment. Look at this. Stunning defense, but the block from Mizerski is insane. What a second move to cover the line. Mizerski 25 points, he will serve. And Bluton could be in trouble here. Nishida works it over the top of the stack block. They kept Oya out of the way, but Nishida's found a way to score. More importantly, he's found a way of getting the big man Mazurski away from the service line. Back in comes Masato Kai. Yeshiki, having done his job, returns to the bench. And now Lopez. Oh my goodness, Bluteon need him to score here. And he hits into the belly of the net, which leaves Bluteon wide open for the serving of Alan Damas. We are in for a phenomenal finish to this game. Kashiwada, for the first time in a long time, comes back into the game. He will be a blocking substitute. They're still trying to work out who's blocking where. So no setter on court for Suntory. Damas tosses a long way, too far in front. And that might be Bluteon's key to winning this match, as Mazurski and Damas once again fail to score in combination from the service line. It's wide open again. It's anybody's match. Nishikawa with the serve. Goes off pace. Easy pass. Oh, it's a risky decision, but it's a decision that pays dividends. Oya goes to Onodera. And on his return to the big league and the big action, he has looked the part today. You wouldn't believe he's been out for so many months. Can he find a serve? Hybrid whacked out of play. No, he can't. And still Bluteon have the option, but nobody's managed to open up that 2 clear point lead. Well, the script is written, isn't it? Nishida, hero, wins it for Bluteon in the 5th. Here we go. Great serve, great pass. And good defense. Here's the chance. Kai. Oh, it's overdone. Well, you've got to challenge the net tape. You've got to challenge it with those bump sets. But Nishida is over-revved and puts the ball over the sideline. His service is gone. Suntory with the chance now. Mazurski, Takahashi, Oniki in the block. Kai passes well out of the back line. Nishida is roofed, and he's not the hero. At the moment, the villain. And the villain of the piece is that man in the number 14 shirt who has just silenced this Bluteon crowd with a big setup on the block. And Nishida runs out of options. Timeout called by Ito Takeshi. And against the run of much of this game, Suntory Sunbirds Osaka find themselves with a match point against their city rivals Bluteon. Nobody's had their can kicked all over the place today, I can tell you. It's been a brilliantly even contest. Blow for blow, toe to toe. Rocky film scenario. And now there's a huge amount of pressure on this next set from Eero Matoki. He's got to make the right decision. Suntory have to get this block lineup correct. Good pass, middle. Larry kills it with ease. Oh, what a save. 9 points for Larry. He's had a brilliant game. And the first match point for Suntory Sunbirds disappears. And both teams are going to have to do it the hard way now. On service. Masato Kai, ace last time he came to the line. Well, that was going out. It was played by Fujinaka. It's tight. And they get the reuse. Control is there. And Mazurski can't put it away. Doesn't surely get a third time. He does. And this time it goes between the antenna. It is a second match point to Suntory. It is a 26th point in the match for Dmitry Mazerski. On my stat sheet, that is. Now then, that's the biggest block they can offer. Damas, Aniki and Mazerski on the Takahashi serve. Ah, he blams it out of the back. Oh, I can't believe it. 15 apiece, 2 match points gone. New man onto court, and for the first time today, Kenyu Nakamoto is thrown into the action. How about this? 27-year-old wing spiker in his 5th season with Osaka Bluteon, given the responsibility of trying to serve an ace here for his team. No, just goes sensible. And gets a dig. Brilliant from Kai. And Lopez has missed it. Now then, the video challenge is immediate. They've already managed to get 1 micro touch confirmed by the technology. Are they going to get a second confirmed here? At the moment, it's a 3rd match point to Suntory Sunbirds Osaka, pending the outcome of this challenge. And once again, no blocker is confessed. Dramatic finish to a dramatic match, and Mazerski's the man. I didn't see movement on the fingertips there, and if this has caught the fingertips, it's micro, but it's out. It's out. Challenge lost. 3rd match point arrives for Suntory Sunbirds. And we're back to the same situation. Motoki has to make the right decision. Does Onodera gamble here, because the serve of Aniki isn't really going to cause problems, or shouldn't cause problems for Bluteon. Motoki should have all his options here. He has. And he goes to Lopez. Lopez crunches it this time. That's a good set, and that's a very good decision from Motoki. Now, not the biggest server, Motoki, but this particular rotation of blockers has been an issue for Suntory all game. So Motoki has generally scored points when he's served. Suntory need the side out to go to match point again. Good pass. Very good tempo. And the Lopez-Mazerski head-to-head, he's heating up very nicely. We've seen little of it until the latter sets, but it's been fun to watch, and the hitting player in that particular challenge. Lopez, chance here. Oh, what a pickup from Takahashi. Out of the back line, Mazerski can't put it down. They're going to get another go here, and Damas can't finish. Back to Mazerski. Out from Dmitry. Osaka Bluteon have saved 4 match points, and now they've got a chance to win the game themselves. Match point number 1 arrives for Bluteon. Olivier Lacar still had a timeout up his sleeve and calls it. And the entertainment, the insanity continues here in the Akini Arena. What a game of volleyball this has been. Two hours and 31 minutes. And counting. Tell a lie, 41 minutes. This has been a marathon, a monumental contest, but it's flown by. Such has been the quality of the volleyball. Wow, well, he's played brilliantly all day. There's Lopez, and now he gets to serve on match point. Does he take the full risk? Does he go for the ace? Here we go. Takes the pace off. Takahashi defends it. Mazerski out of the back line. Oh, no! Oh, that was so defendable, and nobody moved. Off the block, travelling slowly, and all three defenders stood and stared. And Dmitry Mazurski laughs it off. Suntory save a match point. Damas, the next big server. Good hit, defended by Yamamoto. Tight. And somehow kept alive. Damas becomes the setter. Goes to Mazurski, who's hammered it home off the block. Oh, what an incredible out-of-system piece of work that was by Suntory Sunbirds. 29 points for Dmitry Mazurski. A fifth match point for Suntory. Big moment, big moment. Damas, huge serve. Kai defends. Kai has to kill it. And he's put it off the block and defender. Holds his nerve. But the small momentum swing is still with Suntory. It's tipped back their way. They can side out to get back to match point. Nishikawa smacks it a long way over the baseline. He served well today, but that was pressure. That was pressure. Match point number 6. In comes Alexander Swivka with a lot of information to take on board ahead of this serve. This is a huge moment. It has been the contest we wanted, the battle of the Titans, and it's still going. Match point number 6, Swivka from the bench to serve. It's the spinner. Oh, they're out of system. Trouble for Bluteon. And Kai gets it away off the block. Magnificent kill. Just magnificent from Osaka Bluteon. Now then, Nishida, 2 big serves required from him to win the match. We've come all the way round to this rotation again. Oh, he's done it! Ace number 1. He's trying to control the emotion. He doesn't want to celebrate and get over-revved. But he's turned it around. He's been the hero, he's been the villain, he could be the hero again. Match point number 2 for Osaka Bluteon. Crowd alive once again, what a service. And now it's Suntory's turn to be in trouble. Takahashi chips it off the blocker and away. Oh, wow. Another stunningly accurate hit. He knew exactly what he was going for there. And totally fixed on the job in hand. The tip, the momentum, back with Bluteon. They can side out to get to a 3rd match point. And Nishida can't quite get it done. Great serving. Oh yeah, puts it into play. Kai passes well. Larry attacks. It's defended brilliantly by Fujinaka. And from a standing start, they keep it in play. Takahashi goes again and gets blocked, would you believe it, by Larry. And player after player is stepping up here to be the star. Suntory missed their chance. Match point number 3 for Osaka Bluteon. Back into the match. Nishiyama to make the block just that little bit more imposing. What a service. What a service from Kai. Oh, it's tight. It's defended. This for the match. Lopez. Oh, he's roofed. Oh, this game. This game. It's just the best. Beautiful supply of the ball from Nishida. And Lopez whacks it into the heart of that monster block. Motoki returns. 22 all. Bluteon have to keep calm because they are still in the driving seat in terms of siding out. Takahashi off pace. Lopez just trips forwards, doesn't get his full run up and blasts it over the top of the block and out. Oh, Lopez blocked, then error, and Suntory scramble their way to a 7th match point. Takahashi will go spinner again, I'm sure. Yes, Lopez is the target. 3rd ball in a row for Lopez. He's defended, and now Suntory have an out-of-system swing. No, overpassed. Lopez gets another ball. This time, no mistake from the Cuban. But it's Suntory that have the swing to get back to match point. So, once again, the visitors have an opportunity. I tell you what, Mazurski put his back into that jump and just lost his shape in the air. What a kill from Lopez. 23 all. Big pass needed. It's a good serve, but it's a great pass. And it's a very good pipe attack. Well, Larry held his nerve on the serve there. And Masaki Oya held his nerve to supply Takahashi with the ball out of the back line. That's another remarkable kill. 24-23, match point number 8 for Suntory Sunbirds. Oniki puts it into play. Kai passes. Lopez gets blocked on the floor. And Suntory Sunbirds Osaka complete a remarkable comeback victory in a stunning battle with Osaka Bluteon.